Title splitting is a really exciting opportunity that you can operate alongside your development projects or as a standalone opportunity. In this video, I'm going to give you a basic heads up on what title splitting is. Now don't forget, our mentorship program can provide much more help and information about the many different ways you can make money from property. Hi, my name is Mark Lloyd. I'm co-founder of Property Master Academy, and I've been investing and developing property since 2005. So firstly, here's what title splitting is. In property law, title is a concept which shows who has the rights over or ownership of the property. In simple terms, title splitting is the practice of taking one large title to one piece of property owned by one person and breaking it up into several different titles owned by several different people or organisations. I'll explain how this could be a way to make money shortly. So what are the advantages of title splitting? Well, I think one attraction of title splitting is that it is largely a desk-based administrative business. You don't need to get your hands dirty, so to speak, but you can potentially generate some very large amounts of money from that admin work. That said, title splitting can be combined with hands-on development work if you so wish. So what are the possible drawbacks? With title splitting, you must really do your research and your due diligence carefully. If you get things wrong, you can create some really tricky problems for yourself. You must take expert advice on doing it all properly, and of course, you need to be prepared to pay for that. So here's how you can make money from title splitting. The basic principle behind title splitting is that several separate smaller units of property are usually worth more than a single unit of property of the same size. For example, and this is only an example, a large house on one title might be worth £1 million, but 4 separate self-contained flats within it, each on separate titles, might be worth £300,000 each. To give another example, a large house with a large garden might be worth £1.2 million. The house with half the garden might still be worth £1 million, while the other half of the garden could be worth £500,000 as a building plot. Title splitting allows you to unlock that difference in value fully and generate a profit almost from thin air. There are other possible benefits to title splitting too. You can create a bigger, more diverse property portfolio from a given amount of property. You can sell or rent parts of the split property, so you can both generate a lump sum profit now plus a regular rental income plus hopefully a future capital gain. You can utilise different ways to finance your portfolio that may be cheaper and easier. In simple terms, title splitting can be a fantastic way to invest and make money from property if it's done correctly. Here are a few examples of title splitting strategies that are sometimes used by investors. You could buy a house with a large garden and use title splitting to create one or more separate building plots plus the house on separate titles and then sell them. You could buy a commercial property and use title splitting to create several smaller commercial properties or maybe several residential properties. You could buy a house and divide it into flats on separate titles, then rent out some and sell others. You could buy a shop that has a flat or storage rooms above and split them up. You could buy a block of flats that are currently owned by one person or one investor on one title, then split the title and sell or rent them separately. You could buy an HMO or house in multiple occupation, then use title splitting to create self-contained flats on separate titles. You could buy a plot of land and divide it up into separate plots with title splitting, then sell them off separately to self-builders. In all of these cases, you can generate a profit from the title splitting itself, plus any development or renovation work you do on top of that. So how do you find title splitting opportunities? Well, the answer as to where you can find title splitting opportunities is that they are everywhere. The title split project could be a piece of land or it could be a piece of property or both. But overall, the things to look out for are 1. Whether there is physically enough space to split up the land or property. 2. Whether the smaller units or plots combined will be worth significantly more than the large unit or plot. 3. Whether it can be done legally. More about this next. You'll need to do some research to find plots. We have another video about finding development sites which you will find useful. And you'll need to do some research on values. Now, how to split a title. It is possible to legally split a title yourself. However, I wouldn't recommend that you attempt it. It is much better to use an experienced lawyer, either a solicitor or a licensed conveyancer, to split titles for you. Although obviously they will charge for this as it's safer. It will probably not only save you money, but reveal extra money-making opportunities too. You will need to brief your lawyer carefully on what you are trying to achieve. Ask their advice on the best way of doing it, and ask them about what pitfalls there might be as well. I'd recommend that you take expert advice before you agree to buy land or property in the first place. Ask whether it is going to be possible to split the title. You will need to decide which new titles you are going to keep, perhaps to rent out, and which you are going to sell. You will need to talk about who is going to own the titles you split. Now, this might be yourself, a partner, or a limited company you own. Very importantly, you'll need to ask them about freehold and leasehold issues. I should point out that the recent new Leasehold Reform Ground Rent Act has brought in some changes in England and Wales. The law is also totally different in Scotland. Now, you may read some content on title splitting that suggests you can make money from buying the freehold of a property and then selling leaseholds and charging ground rents. This all changed in 2022, so it doesn't work like that anymore. Again, take expert advice. Tax. You should also find out about the tax implications of title splitting and about ways in which you can minimise or even legally avoid tax. Other things you will need to take expert advice on include how you will finance the whole project, and if you're doing any work as part of the title splitting, what planning permission or building control approval you might need. The actual title splitting is done by making an application to HM Land Registry. Once everything goes through, they will issue new titles for the properties you split off the original title. Well, I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, then please hit the like button so others just like you will benefit from this video, and also hit the subscribe button so you'll get notified of other videos we post, and don't forget also to check out details of our mentorship programs. Appearing on your screen right now are more videos that will help you in your property business. Thanks for listening.